Hello! Good to see you again.
Hello. Happy Friday.
What's a Friday?
A sunny day, and that's a good one in my book.
Oh, yeah. And it means lots of showings and open houses and new listings, hopefully.
Well, I'd much rather do that in the sunshine and the
Yeah.
dry, post miserable weather and snow or rain. So I will take any day like this.
Nearly all the snow is melted.
Not my front lawn. I'm in the shadows.
Oh, really?
I still have the big. I was thinking about needing to kind of get at it and try to spread it out a little bit. But it is okay. Again, it's melting elsewhere. So
Get out there with a blow dryer.
Yeah, I'll be the crazy on the block.
Will be.
Yeah. Well, continue.
You set me up. I had to take it.
I did. So thanks for anybody who's tuning in today. Happy Friday. So today we kind of wanted to talk a bit about, the market, right? Like we do every Friday. But this week we wanted to go a little bit into the idea of, what are we talking about? I always love statistics, and we'd like to show you some of those, but we want to talk about, what's driving it. And our goal is to figure out, is there going to be more houses to buy this year? Because that's what that's why it's a seller's market. It is a seller's market simply because there is not inventory out there compared to what we're used to. And we want to show you exactly what that means, what the numbers truly are year over year, and what we're seeing that we are hoping to kind of get it a little bit on the even keel between a seller's market and a buyer's market, just a neutral, good, consistent, moving forward market.
And I think sometimes people hear something over and over again. First of all, we use this lingo. We don't have any inventory. What does that mean? It means we don't have houses to sell. That's what our inventory is. If you're Napa Auto, it's spark plugs. For us, it's houses to sell. There are none. So each house that comes on the market has more buyers than can buy that house. We're actually putting something out in our neighborhood. We have extra buyers. We have people who tried to buy a house and couldn't. So if this is the time that you're thinking about selling, this is a great time to sell. However, I think people get a little tired of hearing that. I don't think they often hear from realtors, this is not a good time to sell. We love to say it's a good time to sell. We love to say it's a good time to buy. And it's confusing. So I think people just go, oh, you always say that. Well, when we look deeper, at least we do. And again, you probably know lots of agents. So we can't speak for them. We're seeing their posts on social media too. And so there is sort of this Pollyanna-ish environment in our profession where people are always saying it's a good time to buy, it's a good time to sell. And what Danielle and I always say is it is almost always a good time to buy or sell for somebody. So if you fit into that criteria, we like to take the deeper dive and say, does it fit you and your plans and your life and what you need, right? So if what you want is the most money for your house and the quickest sale, this is a good time to sell.
Mm-hmm. But conversely, it's probably something buyers right now are sick of hearing too, because they're going up against multiple offers sometimes or most of the time, houses that they see come up and they have Saturday to go see might not even be there by that time. And it gets frustrating and it makes people very desperate to try to find that diamond in the rough, that gem that just isn't coming across from their realtor or from us, that we're somehow keeping things from them. And it's truly
some sort of secret way to get off market listings that nobody knows about. I mean, yeah, there sort of are, but they're very one-on-one. There's no, gosh, we'd be filthy rich and not even doing this on a Friday if we had some treasure trove of off-market properties. We do find off-market properties, but we find them through our relationships, through our marketing, through our, mining for them, through working really hard to find them.
Right.
There isn't some secret website where all of the staff
Pre-foreclosures are listed.
What's that?
I said there isn't some secret website where pre-foreclosures are listed.
Yeah, by the way, pre-foreclosures is a big fat made up word.
I hate that. Anyway, sorry, small jab. No particular place in
No website that publishes things like that.
Hi, Melissa. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Melissa and Tim.
Good morning. And Tim. Thank you. So I will share the first infographic I have here, if I can do this quickly. Share
hey, if you're here joining us, we see Melissa and Tim because they said hi. If you haven't said hello, we don't know that you're here. So do that. Say something in the comments and tell us if we don't know you. Tell us who you are and where you're from. We're going to be showing local data. So it's really important that you keep that in mind. If you're from someplace else, we're happy to have you here, but we would have to do some translation between what we're showing and hello, Monica. Translation between what we're showing and where you are. So keep that in mind, and let's add this to the feed. So hi, Elizabeth Sheehan. I call her Mom.
See, your mom's in here today.
Where's your mom? She's usually here with us.
I know, right? She's a little slow today. Maybe she's just getting on. Who knows? Maybe she's busy. I don't know. I'm sure she has a life other than watching her daughter's podcast.
Play too.
But I don't know how. I guess she has a son too. So this infographic right here is
her favorite.
Well, I'm her favorite, but you gotta spread it around every once in a while. No, but anyway, so we have here, this line here, this red line is, it's showing the entire MLS, this whole Chicagoland area that seeps into our MLS area. And this is over the last.
Sorry, way far north. It goes west to, gosh, I've seen things almost to Iowa. There's another one in Rockford and there's another one in Peoria. So that's about where
has one.
This is a big area.
Yeah. So it's quite big. So we went back 3 years. And so as you can see, from March, April, kind of dips a little bit here and there, but it's in the mid 40,000 houses for sale at any point during the year. For the last many years. In fact, 2019 was up a bit, and we'll see that when I go a little bit further in, was up a bit from 2019, and then 2020 happened, and then you see it just fall and fall and fall. So the entire MLS area that we were talking about has dropped almost 30%, 28.3% in available listings. So more than a quarter less homes out there. So that is the competition we're seeing. Now in Ruth's area and my primary area, we work a lot of the Chicagoland area, not maybe half of this. But in those particular areas, it's even harder hit. So again, I was talking about, the orangey yellow line on the bottom, that's Kendall County. And then the higher bluish color is Naperville. And as you can see, kind of it's going a little bit, almost inverting and going up at the same time, in the same pace. But you see it's 2018, we're doing all right. And then it just kind of goes up and up and up. And, home prices are going up at this time. And then
it's funny too. Sorry, I just want to point out, we often talk about how your market is just a little bit behind my market time-wise. You can see that really clearly here.
Yes. Like it's just kind of, yes.
So if you want a crystal ball for Kendall County, look at Naperville.
Yes. And it kind of makes sense to roll out because people start closer to the city, in my opinion, and then go out and then go out and then go out and then go out.
Yeah.
So
and it's denser, there's more activity, so you're going to see, it's trends are always going to start that way. And then Danielle and I are always watching data far beyond our neighborhoods as well, that MLS data, but also the region and then the entire country. And so we often have a pretty good idea of what's coming. It can change based on, cataclysmic events, COVID, et cetera. But for the most part, there are trends that start on the coasts and work their way toward us. There are certain hotspot areas for real estate that will see things happen first. And then this is our little microcosm of that as well.
Right. So as you see these numbers off to the side here, Naperville is off 36% and Kendall has 40% less. That is, and going down as of right now. Of course we're hoping, and we'll talk about the few things that are making change that will hopefully get this back up. But this is what we're talking about: 450 and 540 listings in the entire area. That is crazy. Can you think, if you think about the thousands and thousands of people that live in Kendall County and Naperville area, and these are these choices, and this is across the board. This isn't, this is all types. This is single family. This is detached condos and townhouses, and it is in all the price ranges. So this is really a very small filter that people are able to see the type of houses, and their choices are pretty limited.
And if you remember back to the first time you ever heard the word economics in school, the next sentence was about the law of supply and demand, right? So here we're seeing illustrated in glorious color the demand, the supply just plummeting.
Right. So here, this gives it more specific. So like I said, 2020 over 2019, we don't have 2018s here, but you can see it was going up and up and up, not by a ton, but we were seeing, single and low teen, mid-teen growth. And I want to say Kendall County is probably due to a lot of new construction, and even Naperville has a decent amount of construction going on. But Kendall County has a lot of land that could be developed, and it has been being developed, but possibly not at the rate that they could have. So we have, but again, here we are, we're just plummeting down. So, but it's not all, we're not saying that we're going to stay in a seller's market, and we're not saying that it's going to be very hard, continue being very hard for a buyer, because there are a few things that are, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Okay. There are a few things that that are out there, and part of it, you have to assume, is that people just did not want to sell their houses last year after, the uncertainty of the pandemic. They themselves might have been worried about health issues. They might have assumed that there weren't buyers out there looking, and for a while there really wasn't, or it was very, very minimal. So I could see not wanting to put your house on the market when it's not going to be exposed to the amount of people that a traditional spring market would have been.
Yeah, old people, were uncomfortable in the beginning. We didn't know anything about this, and it was, it was really scary. You didn't know where it was lurking. I think we've learned how to be pretty safe. Obviously, there's no way that we're ever going to get to zero chance, but we can certainly minimize that quite a bit. Most people are being very, very careful and respectful. So, we see, again, these buyers are out, they're looking, they're willing to go from house to house. So, if we're gonna say what all those posts say that we're seeing, if you're thinking about it, really, this is the time. We don't know when things will change. We are pretty sure they will, because that's the nature of the universe. But So when we say this is a seller's market, get your house on the market if you want to sell it for top dollar, we mean now. Like, we don't know what's going to happen in a month or 6 weeks from now. It could get better for sellers. It could turn around. It will at some point. We do see nobody, by the way, we should make this point. Nobody sees what happened in the previous real estate crash. None of the experts are seeing the same issues with the fundamentals. So while there might be a price correction, and probably will be, because again, we talk about, these are laws of the universe, the law of supply and demand. There probably will be a correction. Our job is not to guess at that.
Yes.
But nobody seems to see, we've had, the reason I'm bringing this up is we know of people who've said, well, maybe I should just wait, and then there'll be another crash, and then I can buy something for nothing. We don't see that happening. It could.
No, and that was another bullet point I had, which is that, there are absolutely people financially impacted right now. And we are in some regards, in some sort of economic crisis. I know it's hard to, but I'm starting to see stocks going down, and, when stock market's going up and all that stuff, everybody just assumes it's good. But there are people on all ends kind of suffering in their own rights now. But as we mentioned, a couple weeks ago, that does not necessarily mean we're going to see the amount of foreclosures, because or short sales. There's the forbearance and other things that we've talked about before. So there will be people who will put their house on the market because they need to sell, like we were talking about. Is this the right time? Everybody has their own reasoning. But the amount of equity that most people have in their homes, because of where everything is left, as long as there are communities, again, not like we had before, where, you had swaths of neighborhoods that were brand new, just, just being built. And when it was being built, their interest rates had all those funky things attached to them, variable rates. I haven't seen a variable rate in years, but variable.
No, Doc, no, lenders are not giving money away like they did.
Balloon payments where you're only paying interest, and then, those type of things aren't out there. And so people aren't getting as, in that regard, screwed up as it was. And what was happening is it was entire neighborhoods getting those predatory loans, to use a hot word, but those loans that they should not have been getting or been able to get. And so we were seeing, when an entire neighborhood, or 50% or 30% or whatever the magic number is, goes on the market, back to the supply and demand. The supply was in an overabundance. And so the prices were, it was okay, buy mine first. I'll go down another 1,000. I'll go down another 5,000. I'll go down another 10,000.
Race to the bottom.
Correct. They wanted to get out before they had to lose any more. And so I think that is something we definitely, should not be seeing unless things really, really take over. But just where we are today, the numbers aren't showing it. And then the last bullet point I had is to why the supply is going to kind of continue to go out there is new home sales and new home builds. So the National Association of Home Builders, and this is across the country, so this isn't necessarily like down the street or anything, but they're expecting the total single-family construction will exceed 1 million homes this year. They are planning on having, the home builders are planning on having 1 million across the country, which is huge, which is the thing, which is the, this is the first time since the Great Recession that we've seen that. So, and I think
it's been behind all this time too. It's not like,
we talked
like there's been enough.
Yes,
up until now there haven't. So
yes, it's gone back to something that we brought up, which was the home builders went away. A lot of them went bankrupt. The ones that did stick around, they were slow to start. They were slow to build. They were doing, they were never doing spec houses. It had to sell, and before they were just throwing up neighborhoods and just selling left and right. So they got very cautious. And so now they are, in the first time in 15 years or so, really trying to get out there and offer those homes quickly.
Yeah. So if you are thinking about, participating in this process, we want to urge you again to look at your life, your circumstances. Where are you, and does this fit what you need or want? So I still feel like we haven't even fully readjusted from the whole last boom and crash. I know there are people who, they're empty nesters or singles who are in a great big house, that they just haven't gotten to selling. This is a great time, I think, for them. People
who have anybody who was part of that, who is afraid of hearing prices go up, like it was 15, 16, 17 years ago when they might have bought that big house that they no longer live in, and they're worried they're going to buy their next house and then the value is going to go down. But as we've talked about as well, sorry if we, it's good to talk about these things over and over, but how, as long as you're in the right house,
right?
If you're where you're supposed to be, and real estate isn't supposed to be a flip. Yes, some people can make it, just like a couple day traders can make,
right,
some money. There's a lot that lose a lot of money, and there's a lot of flippers and investors who go to those really fun conferences for a low price to learn how to be a flipper and just never make a dime. So, if you think about house being something that can be a long-term investment, as well as having the bonus of also meeting your needs at that moment, which is house, having a roof over your head, which everybody needs, that is, a win-win. And so
how many people are worried about doing the wrong thing as far as the market's concerned? And so as a result, they live their life in the wrong house. And I hate to see that. And I mean, I think we both see it fairly regularly. Mm-hmm. Someone's so afraid that they're going to lose on that investment that they made. Your house, should be part of, we do talk about how it's a great way to build wealth overall. We hope that you end up on the plus side when it comes time to move someplace else, but you really need to look at the whole picture. If you're buying and selling in the same market, you're not losing anything. And if you're making a comfortable move, a comfortable financial move for yourself, then there's no way to lose if you're moving to live in the right place. And it literally hurts me to know that people make what I think is an uncomfortable decision based on that. I don't want to have a loss that isn't even really a loss. It's a trade for something else.
Yeah, people don't think of back to your car buying, but it's people have no problem dropping a bunch of money for a comfortable car, or that's the price. Why not do that for your house too? Not that you have to pay more just because, but people are willing to pay something that they know is going to depreciate for their comfort level, be it all their kids and their stuff can fit in, or it has really nice leather seats or something, whatever their reason that makes it comfortable for them. It's crazy that people will,
And the price of the house it's one factor in the equation. I don't feel the same way about the price of a car. I know that's one of my favorite things about car salesmen. They're always like, what do you want to pay a month? And I'm like, I don't want to pay anything a month. I don't like car payments. I don't like to pay for a depreciating asset. Your home is a different thing. Paying a monthly price to live in a home is pretty much what we're all resigned to, right? We're either going to rent for a certain amount, or we're going to buy, and then we're going to have a mortgage and taxes of a certain amount. Then you've got to figure in some additional maintenance, etc. But that's where your comfort level needs to be. Don't get stuck on what that sticker price is, because we also have people who say, oh, I'm going to wait until I can put so much down. And while they're waiting to put so much down and make that, savings nest egg, the price of the house goes through the roof, or interest rates go up a point. And that purchase could have cost you so much less, even if that top line number doesn't change much.
Absolutely. So bottom line is that there is, for the buyers out there, the people thinking about going out and buying, all is not lost. We really are hoping and seeing, and the trends seem to be there. So it looks like we will get back sooner rather than later to a nice, even if it's still a seller's market, maybe not as crazy, but we're hoping to have a nice market where buyers and sellers can find what they're looking for and be happy all around with the still low interest rates and the good equity that most people seem to have in their homes at this point. And so it looks positive. It looks positive.
And we want to stress too that we never know anything except what's happening right now. So we can look at the factors and say, this makes sense that this is coming. But if you're in the process of moving right now, make your choices based on what's happening right now. See what's available, make the right offers, get where you need to be.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. We have an open house this weekend and showings.
Come join us. What's the address?
3209 Alyssa Street in Plano. It is a wonderful 3,300 square foot home with a beautiful backyard, and I love it.
It's a really nice house, and it is like Danielle was showing me the day she did the video, which you can see on our site. Give the website address.
So the website address would be 3209 Alyssa ALYSSA.com. And it has the video and all the specs about the house. And
it is like, it goes on forever. It is gigantic. It's beautiful. And what's the price? The price is amazing.
$280,000.
Oh,
$280,000. And just beautiful stamped concrete backyard with a wonderful view. So
all new flooring. Whoop, I lost your mic. I'm not sure what's up. Did you mute yourself? I don't think I muted you. Can you hear me? All right. Well, I can't hear you. I think I'll. Oh, now you're back.
I don't know. It threw something up on my screen. I didn't read it because I was freaking out. All right. Well, so maybe
Thank you. Bye.
We'll see you next Friday.
See you. Thanks, Shelly. Good idea, Tim.